There's a country that might vanish before the end of your lifetime. Not because of war, not because of politics, but because the ocean itself is swallowing it. This place is called Tuvalu, a small island nation lost in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. To many people, it's just a name they've never heard before. But for the 11,000 people who call it home, it's everything: their land, their memories, their identity. And it is disappearing. Tuvalu is made up of 9 narrow islands and atolls, scattered like pearls on a blue ocean. The total land area is so small that the entire country could fit inside a single major city. Yet despite its size, Tuvalu carries a story larger than life itself. It is the front line of one of humanity's greatest challenges: climate change. Every year, the ocean creeps higher. Storms grow stronger. What used to be dry ground now floods regularly. People wake up to find salt water in their gardens and fish swimming where their crops once grew. The sea has no mercy, and it's taking back the land inch by inch. When you walk through Tuvalu, you notice how close everything is to the sea. The highest point in the entire country is barely 5 meters above sea level. That means even a small rise in the ocean can be devastating. For the locals, this is not a theory or a prediction. It's their daily reality. The tides are getting higher, the storms more violent. Every year, families rebuild what the waves destroy. And every year, they wonder if it's worth rebuilding again. But Tuvalu's story is not only about loss, it's also about courage. The people here refuse to disappear quietly. They are fighting to keep their country alive in a way the world has never seen before. The government of Tuvalu has decided that if the nation cannot survive physically, it will survive digitally. They are building what they call the world's first digital nation, a virtual version of Tuvalu, preserved in cyberspace. Every island, every palm tree, every cultural site is being recreated in a 3D digital world. It may sound like science fiction, but for Tuvalu, it's a lifeline. If their land sinks, their culture, language, and identity will still live on in the cloud. In 2021, the world witnessed something unforgettable. Tuvalu's foreign minister stood knee-deep in the ocean as he delivered a speech to the United Nations. Behind him, waves rolled in as he spoke about his country's fate. His message was simple: we are sinking, but so is everyone else. It wasn't just a plea for help. It was a warning to the world. What is happening to Tuvalu now will happen to many others if the planet continues on this path. Tuvalu's struggle shows how fragile our world really is. Around the planet, more than 600 million people live on land, less than 10 meters above sea level. Cities like Miami, Shanghai, Bangkok, and Venice all face the same rising waters. But Tuvalu is the first to stand on the edge, showing us what's coming. It is a preview of the future, a future where entire nations could disappear from the map. For many Tuvaluans, the question is no longer if they will have to leave, but when. Some families have already moved to New Zealand and Australia, seeking safer ground and new opportunities. Leaving isn't just about finding work, it's about survival. Imagine being told that your country, the place where your ancestors are buried, where every story of your childhood began, will one day be gone. How do you say goodbye to an entire homeland? How do you carry a nation in your memory? And yet, even as people prepare to leave, there's a deep sense of pride that refuses to fade. Tuvalu may be small, but it's not invisible. It has become a symbol of resilience, a voice for all those who will face the same fate in the years to come. The nation has started investing in renewable energy, raising awareness at global climate summits, and demanding that larger nations take responsibility. Because Tuvalu didn't cause the problem, it's paying the price for the emissions of the world as biggest economies. Still, the people don't want pity. They want partnership. They want the world to understand that saving Tuvalu isn't just about saving a small island. It's about protecting the future of humanity. When the ocean rises in Tuvalu, it rises everywhere. The same forces that threaten their islands are melting glaciers in the Arctic, flooding coasts in Europe, and fueling stronger hurricanes across the Americas. Tuvalu's fight is our fight too. The idea of a digital nation might sound strange at first, but think about it. In an age where we live half our lives online, maybe Tuvalu is showing us the next step in what a country can be. A place that exists not just in geography, but in data, in history, in memory, in shared connection. Their plan is to record every detail of their islands, using drones, satellite images, and 3D mapping, creating a digital replica that will last forever. Future generations might visit Tuvalu in virtual reality, walk its beaches, see its villages, and hear the voices of its people. Even if the physical land no longer exists, some say this is surrender, that creating a digital version of a country means accepting defeat. But others see it differently. They see it as an act of defiance, proof that even if nature takes the land, it cannot erase the people. Tuvalu will live on, not through borders and soil, but through culture and memory. In a way, they're teaching the world that identity isn't tied to a place. It's tied to a people's heart. Still, the digital dream doesn't replace reality. Every high tide still brings fear. Every storm still leaves destruction. The government continues to build seawalls, strengthen coastlines, and plant mangroves to hold back the waves. But nature moves faster than they can build. And as global temperatures rise, so does the urgency. Scientists warn that by the end of this century, Tuvalu could be completely uninhabitable. That means that within just a few generations, one of the world's oldest cultures could become stateless. But the story doesn't end with tragedy. It ends with a choice. The fate of Tuvalu, and many others, depends on what we do now. If we reduce emissions, invest in clean energy, and protect the planet's fragile ecosystems, then Tuvalu's story could inspire a global turnaround. But if we continue to ignore it, the waves will keep rising, and one day we'll look back and realize we let an entire nation disappear. Imagine this. 100 years from now, a child somewhere in the world puts on a headset and visits Tuvalu in virtual reality. They see digital palm trees swaying in the simulated breeze. They hear the sound of waves, recreated from old recordings. And they learn that this place once existed, that real people lived here, laughed here, prayed here. Will that child think of Tuvalu as a legend or as a warning? Tuvalu's story isn't just about loss. It is a mirror held up to the world. It asks us what we truly value. Do we protect the smallest among us? Or do we wait until the water reaches our own doors? The ocean doesn't care about borders, wealth, or politics. It rises for all. So as the sun sets over the Pacific and the waves wash gently over the sands of Tuvalu, one thought remains. This country may be small, but its message is enormous. It reminds us that every coastline is connected, every drop of water shared. And if we listen, really listen, Tuvalu's voice might just be the one that saves us all. This is Globeset, uncovering the hidden stories of our world. Subscribe to discover more places before they vanish.